it's very easy to get a show. So that's nice. And it's easy to get a show playing the music that I feel like playing. So that it wasn't always the case. Like when I was DJing, I was living off my DJing. So in order to make enough money to sustain myself, I had to take lots more shows than I would normally take. So this way, by doing it just on the side, I'm able to take the shows that I want to take, do the projects I want to do.
Yes.
It's great.
Yeah, quality over quantity. But you've done that though, right? You put in the sweat equity to like earn that space amongst everybody else, right? Like, that goes without saying. It was a no-brainer for me, and I know, I've had the privilege of like hanging out with a lot of what's going on the West Coast right now, and when I think back to like what that looks like, you're definitely a part of it. Like that goes without saying. I mean, it doesn't really matter what capacity anybody was doing it in. The amount of sweat equity that you guys have all put in there is it's just like, it's amazing. And to like look back at it and realize that like we all get to like pay homage to you guys, that like the time's already been done. You know what I mean? Now you guys get to like roll in, do a couple of things, show the kids roll out, right? Like
No, it's nice too. And also that was one of the benefits about being at a top 40 bar in a smaller town like Canberra River, Nanaimo, or Courtney at the time we did it, is that on certain nights of the week we would have different genres. So we got to know the hip hop acts that were coming up. We got to know the Globetrotters recognized me for quite a few years. Things like that where you wouldn't normally have that at all your shows. We have house music nights on Sundays. We would have break music nights. Those kinds of things. You got exposed to so many groups of different types of music, or even open mic nights or jam nights, or the live bands that we did. So like I've had a chance to perform. Not a lot of DJs have done scratching and performed with live rock and roll bands.
No.
And then have also performed with, say, Two Live Crew, and have also performed with other stuff like that. It gives you a lot of opportunity to try out everything, to become comfortable in all those situations. So that was one good aspect of it.
Oh, it's amazing. Like as you're saying that, I'm like, man, now it's kind of what it is. Like you got people like, Merc and Jelly and all these guys that have just like smashed genres together. And I mean, I'm out in Alberta and I literally see like country boys all the time who have never really left their 100-year farm. And they're like, oh, you heard this song? And I'm like, what, dude? Yeah, no, what? Like, I've been listening to that guy since he was like playing, outside on the street, outside the Commodore. Like, what do you mean? Like, I've known that guy since he was like busking. Like, what do you? Yeah, exactly. I know who that is. But it's like it's amazing because everybody, like you, well, obviously you included. I'm talking about you right now. Like to be able to do that and kind of like create the space. You allowed all of us to get comfortable to listening to those things together. And that's what, I mean, we're talking like years ago, And so to be able to say that and to be like, yeah, we already did all that,
Yeah, 28 years of back-to-back shows. Sometimes when I was in Nanaimo, I was doing 3 shows a day at 3 different venues on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So you add that up, that's a lot of shows.
Man, it's a lot of freaking music. Like,
that's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
200 to 500 people a show for 28 years is a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of life. Like it's really neat. I feel so blessed. I'm sitting here like, almost fangirling up because it's like to think about people's lives as entertainers and then to look, now you're in a space to like look back at it and be like, we really did all of that. Like all of that is just such an amazing thing. So from the bottom of my heart, like thank you.
Something that really struck me as odd in the past few years is when you're performing as a DJ or anybody that's entertaining on stage, you're trying to connect with somebody emotionally in the crowd and they're feeding on what you're doing and you're feeding on what they're doing and you sort of elevate each other.